Intro to 0 o'clock to 0:50 narrator. History is written by the victors. But what if the victors lied? Today we're diving into 9 lies you learned in history class. Stories told so often, they became facts, even if they were totally false. From misunderstood heroes to flat-out fabricated events. Get ready to question everything. Lie number 12052-150. Columbus discovered America. Nope, not even close. Columbus never set foot on the mainland United States. He landed in the Bahamas in 1492, thinking he'd reached Asia, and guess what? Indigenous people were already here for over 15,000 years. So no, he didn't discover anything. He arrived, got lost, and accidentally kick-started colonization. Bonus twist, he wasn't even the first European. That title goes to Leif Erikson, a Norse explorer who reached Newfoundland 500 years earlier. Line number 2-152, 3 o'clock. Napoleon was short. The infamous short man complex. Based on a lie, Napoleon Bonaparte was about 5'7", average for Frenchmen in his era. So why the myth? British propaganda painted him as small to ridicule. Confusion between French inches and English inches. Cartoons exaggerated his height for laughs the truth. His ego might have been big, but his height, totally normal. Line number 3 to 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." The quote that defined royal arrogance was likely never said. There's no historical evidence she ever uttered those words. The phrase actually predates her by decades and was probably invented to fuel revolution propaganda. She was out of touch, yes, but she didn't ask starving peasants to go eat dessert. Line number 4 to 4 o'clock to 5:15. The Great Pyramids were built by slaves. Hollywood got this one wrong. Again, recent archaeological evidence suggests the pyramids were built by paid laborers, not slaves. They lived in nearby villages, had medical care, and were buried with honor. Were working conditions brutal? Absolutely. But this wasn't some pharaoh's torture camp. It was a national project, like ancient Egypt's version of the Olympics. Line number 5 to 5:15 to 6:30. Vikings wore horned helmets. Admit it. When you think Viking, you picture a guy with a giant horned helmet yelling R-A-A-H-H. Truth is, no historical evidence supports that. Horned helmets were invented for opera costumes in the 1800s, not actual battle. Real Vikings, their helmets were plain, functional, and horn-free, because horns are a terrible idea in close combat. Line number 6 to 6:30 to 7:40. Witches were burned at the stake in Salem. You've heard the story. Witches, trials, flames, horror. But here's the truth. In Salem, 1692, no one was burned. 19 were hanged, 1 was crushed with stones, and many died in prison, but not a single witch was burned. Burnings happened in Europe, not colonial America. So, blame the dramatized movies, not your history teacher. Line number 7 to 7:40 to 8:40. Einstein failed math. Ever heard even Einstein failed math? That was supposed to make you feel better, right? Except it's completely false. Einstein was a math prodigy. He mastered calculus by age 15 and was brilliant in physics. The confusion came from a misunderstood grading system in Swiss schools. He fail math. The rest of us just felt like we did because of him. Line number 8, 8:42, 9:40. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. Edison made it famous, but he didn't invent it. The first electric light was created by Humphrey Davy in 1802. Later, Joseph Swan in the UK built an actual working bulb before Edison. What Edison did was build a commercially viable, long-lasting bulb and aggressively patent it. So, innovator. Yes. Inventor. Not quite. Lie number 9 to 9:42, 10:45. The Middle Ages were a dark age. This label came from Renaissance thinkers who wanted to make their own era sound cooler. But the Middle Ages weren't just plagues and pitchforks. There were scientific advances, universities, cathedrals, and even early forms of democracy. Sure, it wasn't TikTok and iPhones, but it wasn't total darkness either. Whoa, 10:45 to 11:30 narrator. So how many of these did you believe? 1, 3? All 9. Don't worry, we all got duped. But now you know. History isn't just about the past. about who gets to tell the story. If you liked this episode, smash that subscribe button, and next time, we'll reveal 9 lies you learned in science class.